Hi guys, good morning. This is Malan KB and this is video 13 of this course. We are still on technical analysis and hopefully this will be the last video on technical analysis. And what remains, I think I have explained almost all of them previously or during the discussion on the previous topics. So what we have today is rejection zones, stop loss hunt, and Fibonacci. And I think I have explained rejection zones and stop loss hunt earlier. So rejection zones basically, or in a nutshell, is just opposite of um, rejection zones is where the market is opposite of breakout zone. Breakout is where the market break a structure and move in the direction. If the market is going up and it comes to a rejection zone and break the rejection zone, if market breaks out that zone, that is opposite of rejections. Why rejection? If market tap that zone, it will reverse back. So I think if you watch the previous video where I was demonstrating it on um, trading view, I think I've explained everything. Now, let me just give an example of a rejection zones from this chart. Okay, so we might call this zone, this where I'm tapping here, we might call it a rejection zone. Why? Because whenever market reach that zone, instead of breaking the zone and moving upward direction, it always rejects it. Just look at this wick, this one I'm tagging here. Once the market reached this stage, it rejected that place and went back. The same thing, it has done that for almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times before the market finally break this zone. And when it break out, I think it's almost more than 200 pips, and it was due to the NFP news that happened on Friday. Now, why the market is not moving is because I'm recording this video on weekends, which is Sunday, and the market is still not open yet till I think around 11 p.m. tonight. So that is why the market is not moving. So you can watch the previous videos to understand more about rejection zones and breakout, because I think I've explained the rejection zones earlier, maybe in the last video. I think I spent much time explaining it, and like I told you, I cannot teach you everything because I don't know everything. So you have to expand your knowledge, make more research, watch more videos on YouTube, read more, practice more before you will be able to understand how the market is being done. Then the next thing is the stop loss hunt. That's what I explained, I think, in the previous video also, and I related it with a liquidity sweep. So stop loss hunt, you might put your stop loss in a particular zone, maybe because you see this particular week and you put your stop loss here, but market decide to take you out and go in your direction. That is stop loss hunt. Maybe there's a liquidity that market is supposed to sweep, or you did not notice it, or there's an event that happened. Market might decide to remove you out of the market, out of that trade, hitting your stop loss and moving in your direction. Just the way I explained in the previous video for this particular week. I told you I know someone that lost over 290 million naira or 97 million naira just because of this massive movement. Because market was supposed to turn back from here, but then the market decided to move with a heavy or with a massive movement before going up to this direction. And you see, after removing everyone with their stop loss, the market moved, I think, from 33, 35, 16 to almost 35 to almost 36,000. So the movement was massive. So that's just a brief about what is it called, stop loss hunt. So finally, what this video is all about is Fibonacci. So Fibonacci is a tool that will show you rejection zones where you are expecting market to reject. If the market breaks out that zone, then you can either catch your buy or sell. So how can you put that Fibonacci tool, or how can you use it? So first you tap on your screen. If you are using Android, I think iPhone is also the same thing. You are going to see this particular tool, this thing that has circle, rectangle, and a triangle. So once you click on that, you are going to see these tools. So should in case these tools are not there, there's a plus sign here. You just tap on it and add or favorite any tool you want to be on your list on the top. So this is my Fibonacci. This tool, this one with F, is my Fibonacci retracement tool. So let me pick it up. So once you pick it, you come and check the highest high of that day and the lowest low of that particular day. Then you tap on it. Sorry, this is not the one I'm looking for. This one, the one that has a space in between the F and the last three dots. So you just click on it, you tap on your screen, it will come out, then you drag it from 100 to 0. From 100 to 0. The first line should be on 0 and the last one should be at 100. So let me just shift it a bit. This is perfect. You can see 100 is here and 0 is here, 100 is here. So now, if the market is at 100 or at this in between 100 and 61.8, and the market is moving in a downtrend. So whenever market reaches 61.8, there's high chance that market is going to reject that zone and go back to either 100 or thereabout. So that means you can catch your buy. I told you what I mean by rejecting that place. That is, if the candle closes and it did not close, if the candle closes not inside the line, you can catch your buy. But if the market breaks the line, that means it must, or there's high probability that the market is going to 50.0, which is the next line. If the market breaks 50.0, there's high probability that the market is going to 38.2. If market breaks 38.2, there's high tendency that the market is going to 23.6. If market breaks 23.6, there's high tendency that the market is going to 0. The same thing if the market is buying, if the market is going in an uptrend. Okay, if the market is going in an uptrend, then there's high chance that whenever market breaks 23.6, the market is going to 38.2. The same thing I explained for the downtrend is the same way you do it for the uptrend. And there's what we call a golden zone. Golden zone is between 61.8 and 50.0, and that's the strongest zone on Fibonacci, on this tool. That is a strong rejection zone. Whenever market breaks 50.0, there's high chance either if it is going up, it is definitely going to touch 61.8. But then I told you about managing your risk, even though it's part of what I'm going to explain in my final video. Even though we have candlestick chart pattern which I'm supposed to explain, but I told you I'm going to drop a document that explains everything about candlestick chart pattern. So I'm not going to do it. I've already explained the anatomy of candlestick, I think, in video 4 or 5 of this course. So we are just going to say one or two things about risk management, which I have said some things about it in the beginning of this course. So the discussion is not going to be much. So this is how you can use your Fibonacci tool. So whenever you want to draw it, you just tap on your screen. You tap on your screen, click on this sign like this, pick it up. It has already picked. You just go to your zones and draw it. You draw it like this. If you want to delete it, you press on it. There's a delete button at the top here. You just delete it. The same thing here. So Fibonacci is very important. Like I said, you can watch more videos on Fibonacci or on any topic that we have discussed and expand your knowledge. I think this is the best I can do for the beginners to learn the basics of forex trading. So there is more to it. There are thousands of strategies that can work for you. What I will advise you at the end is that whatsoever strategy that is working for you, just stick to it. The main aim and the goal is to make money. If you are making money, don't mind people talking about your strategy or saying you don't know how to do it or you don't know this, you don't know that. Don't mind them. As far as your strategy is paying you, stick to it. So that is that about this video.